All right. So, as you can see, I am in Liyue right now. And also, my objective is right behind my head. Because what I'm planning on doing is I'm finally going to do a teapot to call home. Because I've been putting it off forever. I think I even put in the description before I started streaming that basically I think I first saw this pop up for me to do around like episode 16 or 18. I'm now at 35 and I still haven't done this yet. So I could have gone on and did the Inazuma stuff, but this has been waiting for me forever. So I might as well knock it out. I was debating also possibly doing the Jade Chamber stuff today too, but I decided against it because Teapot. So it would be nice to see the Jade Chamber get put back up. A new Jade Chamber. That Zhang Li probably did not reimburse Ninghua for because, you know, he kind of selfishly did the whole thing that he did. Where she had to sacrifice what she spent her whole life trying to create, which was the Jade Chamber. And yeah, he has no value of money, even though he does all the contracts. Like, he's the, I guess you could say, god of contracts. He's the 7 of the contracts. And yeah, he never had money on him. He always knew all the high-class stuff. Never had a single Mora. Madam Ping, I have arrived.
Children, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
You have? Also, I was originally going to do this before, back when it first popped up. I was going to do it as a half episode, and then I realized there was real dialogue. So this is more of a stream thing than a half episode thing.
Oh, what is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no.
I like it when the dialogue just runs. I can just chill.
You've done so much for Liyue Harbor already. I could hardly ask for more. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
A teapot.
A gift? For Paimon?
No, for Aether. I only did what I should.
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds.
Oh, we never camp
That
out.
simply
We just run around
won't
at all
do.
hours.
Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you.
I think I probably
Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy.
do. What's subspace creation?
Oh, did my friends never mention that to you?
Nope.
Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world.
I'd like that.
The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
A trinket, you say?
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh,
Pretty much.
indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call an exercise of true power. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just requires a few final materials to add the finishing touch.
What are the missing materials?
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
Oh,
Probably better than fighting,
settle
because I'm
down now,
always too weak.
children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither.
I like running
I've
thither.
already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need. What's more,
They can take the hither. I'll take the
I
thither.
doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days.
And what are those, if I might ask?
Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glazed lilies thrived most profusely. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lilies, and if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there.
Blaze lilies don't
But
grow like they
almost
used to,
no one has
though.
been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today.
Yeah, it's a disappointing
Even
marsh.
more difficult to find is Smiractus jadeite, which must
The
be
what?
chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it. In any case, Smiragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand.
I probably could.
Extended contact with it is, in fact, harmful to humans.
Aether is not really human.
Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Who's this child?
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an Adeptus too, right?
Yes. I suppose she does count as an Adeptus.
How's one becoming an Adeptus?
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an Adeptus and never even know it.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life, after all.
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors.
Not outside of the first time that I
This child
tried doing this
here is
mission.
Yen Fei. She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yen Fei, I believe you already heard of the Traveler and his traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became
Are
one
those
of
horns?
Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension.
Mm-hmm.
After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chising. What a shame.
Shame? You want me to still be the most wanted?
A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you.
It wasn't embarrassing
Allow
at
me
all.
to introduce myself once more. I'm Yenfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
don't think I
Here's
have
my
one, though.
business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy.
Okay.
If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yen Fei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment.
No.
You'll have to excuse Yen Fei. She's always been like this, ever the talkative one when it comes to her own affairs.
Are you really an Adeptus?
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway.
Your old man?
He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Okay, so you're like half Adeptus?
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff? What do you mean he just went back to get married?
Well,
Probably made a contract
my dad did say that
be able to
he
get
talked
married.
it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smiractus jadeite. I couldn't find any at all. The chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way in. Couldn't secure any documentation either. Looks like the Ministry of Civil Affairs is serious about keeping it strictly locked down.
Looks like I'm gonna have to break in.
So? But Smiractus jadeite is really rather essential.
But she got the shimmer soil
Are
though?
you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly after all. It is only
I'll go
right
look
that
for
they
it.
are duly rewarded.
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a chance we can figure out some alternative means of procurement. Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
Where'd you get that from? How bad is her eyesight that her face is all the way in the book?
That's a really thick book. What kind of things do you write in there?
Commercial consultancy. Or...
Her face is
Snezhnaya?
completely in it.
Ah, found him. Krustle. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices.
Nah,
If
Shavings.
my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smiractus jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any
Hairpins?
legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smiractus jadeite, or might have an idea of where we can find some.
We'll come with you.
Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you
Never
just
been to
stand by and
Shavings.
watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
Yay.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal liability. Well, that's a first for sure.
Yeah.
Best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
Careful in what way? All we know is to run and slash and climb. Talk to... Where is he? This way. Oh, he's not far. Thought you said he was in Snezhnaya. Mr. Liyue. This way. Ooh, a common chest. Just tucked away.
I'll keep this close.
Yes, I will. And no. Ah, here. Wait, didn't we talk to this dude before?
Why'd they have to give me that transfer?
Did we buy the what's it called from him that one time?
Hello, Mr. Krustle. How's business been?
Yes, how's it been?
Good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind.
Sounds a little
I was
pompous,
simply
but
doing my job.
seems nice.
Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some Smiractus jadeite to hair pins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of Smiractus jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins.
Where'd you get it?
Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Zhiqiao.
Rented out hairpins?
If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't Smiractus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
It sounds disgusting. Renting out
No,
hairpins.
I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhiqiao before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value.
Okay, now he
In
seems rude.
return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smiractus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Zhiqiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
No ambiguity's there.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that
Okay.
case, might you know where Miss Zhiqiao lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell.
Can we
We'll
still
be off
use it
now.
when it's a hairpin? Wouldn't it be better to find out where he got the joint from? All right, so she's just up here. To the right. Hello, music? Do we gotta go around back? I think we gotta go around back. Seven meters higher. Huh. There she is. It's okay that we're coming from the ledge.
Oh, whatever shall I do?
Ah, she lost it.
Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
Yeah, you're
How do you do, Ms.
Smiractus
Ratel?
Jade
We understand
hairpin?
from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins. I can't
Know it.
lend them to you right now. I've lost them.
Where'd you lose them?
I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and
Why not
I
in your
hadn't
hair?
even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them.
Why not keep
If
them
I
in
have
your
to pay
place?
their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice.
Why did you need them in the first place?
My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them.
So why'd you buy hairpins?
A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's
So you
what the
thought it'd be a
hairpins
good
were
look?
to keep up appearances.
She thought it'd be a good look.
I can't have them looking down on me.
Just stand on a
But
chair.
now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Maybe because this is the part where we say, we can help.
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Miss Zhou, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Why do I feel like Dude took it back?
Let me see.
Took the hairpins back.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Juqiao somehow.
That'd be a little unfair to Crossell. I don't want to, like, hold it against anybody from Chesnaya, but nobody good seems to come out of Chesnaya. So I don't want to be discriminatory based off that.
Though
But
surely there must be a win-win solution.
I don't know. There might be something sketchy about him.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smiractus jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher.
These hairpins are Bitcoin.
Uh-oh. Juqiao looks like she's about to faint.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smiractus jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the jadeite is genuine or not?
By finding them.
Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the jadeite is genuine, would there?
What do you mean?
Seems right.
Please,
Because we would check it when we find it?
please, don't trouble yourselves over this. The fact is, I lost the item, and I should pay compensation per the contract.
It's such a huge sum of money, though.
However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts.
How about we solve
Now
for
that it's
you?
come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossel in the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue and then negotiate the amount of compensation.
Let me find it, and then you pay me a
Yes,
fraction of the
legally
price.
Speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins.
I feel like it's
So
gonna take a
hold
while.
on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the hairpins,
I'm gonna sit back.
what did you feel?
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch, like the finest quality jade. My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
Smooth to the touch, finest quality jade.
Is something the matter? I'm wondering if she's gonna say it's not supposed to be smooth, not this time.
No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossel's.
Okay, I guess we could. Where'd she go? I guess it's easy to get to him though. Just. Hey, Cressel.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
It's hard to be satisfied with something that you don't have.
About that.
She relates the loss.
You
loss.
lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. Truly, I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract.
I don't trust dude.
Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smiractus jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes. And if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smiractus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
Seems to be stammering a little.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossel.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Yeah, he feels shady.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow.
We're either gonna find
I have
them
something
or
to
prove
discuss
that.
with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
Yeah, they weren't legit. I think she kind of knows they're not legit. All right, where do we sit? Where do we go? This way. Wow, we gotta go ways away. Are we still on this level, or do we go up a level? I'm still kind of sitting back at the moment because I know... Oh, we're going to have to go up. Let's get the stamina back and we'll climb up the wall. I'm like... I have my arm fully extended in order to reach the WASD. Because I know it's just going to go to another talking cutscene. It's not going to be too active. Lower? Let's say, what do you mean lower? Uh-huh. We're betting on it right now, sir. Thank you, though. I'm betting to be crooked.
Miss Yanfei, what is this about? Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
No.
Go ahead and break it down.
What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may not be Smiractus jadeite after all.
And Dew knows it, too. Not Smiractus jadeite. Really?
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, But Smiractus jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow,
Called it.
did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
Nah, she felt great.
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
Actually, wasn't smart banking them
Now
into
that
hairpins.
is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smiractus jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam.
No,
right to
or
his
else we would have
face.
said all this there.
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it.
That's why we're away
Eventually, he
talking.
would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then he'd throw the Smiractus jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone.
Oh, that's
After
wasteful.
that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
A very vivid description. He has the hairpins. I can almost guarantee
So
it.
vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them.
That's how we always do
Fortunately,
things.
I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yunfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, could I ask you to please sign this contract?
Make sure you read it.
Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon
Yeah.
can't even keep track.
If I had one more for every time I heard the word contract, we would probably never leave the city because we would just be sitting on top of the pile inside of the reserve.
It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These
Screw
are my
that guy.
formal terms of engagement.
Unless you mean
Everything
Ningguo.
prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yunfei.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on
My
this
mom
page
was
as
so
well.
dumbfounded by contract signing.
And I'll also need your signatures
Oh,
on
she looks
pages
tired.
5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again.
What's with her and juice? She wanted juice with the whole ordeal on
All
the
right, that
mountains.
should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then,
You read through rather
here's
quickly.
your copy of the contract.
I think she would
will
look
retain
dope with
the
two
other
different
copy.
colored eyes. Like have this one be red. Need me to do anything?
Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve once we've got some things squared away. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Miss Yunfei,
Probably not with a contract.
I have to ask, why are you helping me?
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smiractus jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geoenergy around Mr. Crossel, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter, but either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smiractus jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this.
It's a
Let's go
Shaznayan thing.
to- Where can we find someone who processes ore? Ah, I've got it. Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossel had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Ah, that homie. All right, let's go to another cutscene. Get up, glide over. Hi, homie. It's been a while.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh, it's you, Miss Yenfei. Is something the matter? Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a
He sounds like he
merchant
actually
named
does it.
Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnayan merchant named Crossel, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smiractus jadeite.
What was it?
That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smiractus jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Did you get sick while handling this ore?
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this
Is it gonna be
ore,
that green
after
stuff right there?
all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later.
Yep.
They're right over there, in fact.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
Look at them we shall. Ah, there. It's supposed to be like, where is it? Observe. This is one of those episodes where you really just sit around and do nothing.
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross sections and patterning suggest that these are Smiractus Nephrite shavings.
Smiractus Nephrite?
Yes. It's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time.
Does it have the same appearance as the jade?
I've heard
But
it
just
said
doesn't
that
have the
Smiractus Nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smiractus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
So homie be lying.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
Or
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smiractus Nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
Is that so? Well, we might as well give Elemental Sight a shot.
yeah,
So, did you find anything?
not a trace of elemental energy.
So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
Shouldn't she have known then?
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time.
Why couldn't Shito tell them apart?
These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart.
How come
There may
you
be
weren't
only a
able to tell it
subtle
apart?
difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But, never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossel...
Supposedly he does have a real
Unusual
piece
actions
of.
have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Who's standing right there? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So much action.
Miss Yenfei? Might I be so bold as to inquire,
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossel did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smiractus jadeite, did he not?
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smiractus jadeite, uncut.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course. But might I ask why you need them?
Because they ain't jadeite.
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please sign here on this affidavit. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossel brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
Yes, I see. Forgive me for asking again, Miss Yanfei, but might I know the nature of the incident on this occasion?
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
Well, he gonna be paying heavy.
Hard evidence to back us up? Krosa won't dare try to deny what he did.
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling.
What we need?
If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry.
There she goes, facing the book again.
Nope. Aha! Got it! Singsi. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people?
Because she's helped out a lot of people and been around for a long time.
Lots of people come to me for legal advice every day.
Can you find someone to
As
make
you
you
know,
glasses?
Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, I should say laws, are very important to us.
That's true.
But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand and impossible to finish?
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
How long did that take?
You memorized them?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know?
Is this how an adepti becomes so adept at everything? Is that why they're called adepti?
Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again, with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's go look for Singsi.
Where is Singsi? Before we do that, I actually want to stop off at the guild. At the Adventurers Guild. Because I've gone up in adventure rank. And I want to get my rewards from that. Hello, Catherine.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
Yeah, I'd like to claim my adventure rank rewards. Thank you. Claim. Which means once I hit the level cap, I gotta do the Ascension quest. Which, not so sure that I want to do that once it's ready. Brilliant Diamond Chunk. Hold on, does anybody need that? Whoa, wait. Let's see about leveling people up real quick. Aether can level up, but I want to hold off on him. I want to get other people their levels. What up, what up, what up? Okay, let's just level him up. Back off one. Too short. Just do one of these. 50. Who else we got? Hold on. Level up. Probably just do one of these little ones, right? And she can ascend. What is this? Valberry? That's all she needs? Okay.
Just what I needed.
Well, I'm glad you got what you needed. The reason why I'm kind of doing all this is because I really just want all the rewards. I am one of the fates away from being able to do more. So.
Oh, ow! Where did that come from?
What do you get hit by? I don't even know. Ascend.
I feel stronger in every sense.
Okay, good for you. All right, claim. Yeah, I need to go around ascending everybody and getting their weapons up. All right, confirm. 15. 16. And then this blast one's not going to do anything. I'll still spend it anyway. All right. We used up all that stuff. Yeah, look at this. I just need one more of the intertwined fates. Wait, okay, I got 3 of these now from all that. See, I just need to get enough Primo Gems in order to do another 10 wishes before I end off this episode. I need 55 Primo Gems. So I'm kind of hoping that this mission chain ends today and you get like a fat 60 off of it. We're
The key here is consumer psychology.
right here. Right here.
We have some
Sing
new
Si.
adventurers guild. You'll have
Oh,
a
Miss Yenfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time...
This is something different,
Have
probably.
no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you a few questions. Has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Crossel? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no?
Yeah, that place.
Yes, he came to me with a chunk of something he called Smiractus jadeite.
And what
the
did
design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Yeah, you always remember the problem
There's any
cases.
evidence to be found here.
Miss Sinksy, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called Smiractus jadeite?
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
There we go.
Mr. Crossel wasn't very
That's what we
familiar
need.
with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf.
Ooh,
I
it's going to come
also
back to
kept
bite
a
him.
copy for my own records. See for yourself.
Ooh.
The item is called Smiractus jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smiractus jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Sinksy. Now, could you let me borrow this document?
Please?
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been some more trouble?
Yep. He's crooked.
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue. I'll return your
That's
document
my bad
as
impression of
soon as I'm done with it.
Snezhnaya.
Thanks again.
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
Must be the nature of legal consultancy? Yeah, consultancy.
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baiju.
Baiju?
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him for?
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smiractus jadeite is harmful to the human body. Once we have this
That makes
final
sense.
piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
All right, well, let's go. Look at all these official documents that we be going, like, coming up with, running off with, doing things with. I really wish that we could have had that second vision. That way we could have a second element on either. I feel like you can even, like, lessen the amount of damage you could do slightly if you feel like it would make everything unbalanced. And then, yeah. Excuse me. Ah, there you be. Hey, where's Chi-Chi at? Chi-Chi? Chi-Chi? Where's that little zombie girl? What'd you do with her? Where's the no Chi-Chi?
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs.
Who's Herb?
And if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No, stones.
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smiractus jadeite.
Smiractus jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 mountain treatises. The Seven Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality and their illness will only ever get worse.
Aether would probably be okay.
Anyway, I'm sure you
Even though he
didn't
doesn't
come
have a
all
vision.
this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yanfei, and given the specific nature of your
What is his green
question,
vision?
I suppose
It's
that
not
you're about to
annual, is
ask
it?
me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smiractus jadeite?
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smiractus
A
jadeite.
Snezhnayan merchant.
A Snezhnayan merchant came to ask me about it not long ago.
You think he's gonna
But
skip
after
town?
I gave him my reply,
He seems to be ahead
his
of it.
expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yen.
Probably because he wanted to make a profit off of
your
it, but
pressing
knew that
business
if it was
might
harmful,
be
he couldn't
related
actually.
to the Snezhnayan merchant?
Yep.
Ah, you needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju.
No, you're right.
Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
Bye bye. Why am I seeing this time with them doing dialogue to put my Switch
Baiju guy is as
Joy-Cons
weird
back
as
on the
ever.
Switch?
Is it just Paimon?
Oh, I want him to
Does
keep
it
sliding.
feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Oh, nah, he was fishing.
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
That stereotypical Snezhnayan. Isn't there a good Snezhnayan out there somewhere? I've yet to see one. Oh, he out in front of his stand now. Yo, what up, liar?
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yup, she did.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yanfei?
Oh, she will do the honors.
Of course.
You won't feel very honorable.
According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her?
You know.
Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Only if it's on your part.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smiractus jadeite that was inlaid within the Smiractus jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smiractus nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss
We have
Yanfei,
shavings.
you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smiractus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question.
Let's start with evidence number 1. Here is the evidence from the Jade Mystery.
This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smiractus jadeite and Smiractus nephrite. How does this prove anything?
Oh, don't worry, we got more.
In any case, Smiractus nephrite is the outer layer of Smiractus jadeite. So
Not in all
I
cases.
had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I missing exactly?
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my
It's
ore is
something that
fake
could
is
work
just
as a
as
claim.
unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
Oh, we're not done. We got more.
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next?
Next, we should go to the second thing of evidence.
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler.
Let's skip to Boo Boo Pharmacy.
Oh, come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
All right, here.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore inlaid on the pins is indeed Smiractus jadeite.
No, it doesn't prove that at all.
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either.
That's why I wanted to jump to Boo Boo
This guy's
Pharmacy.
getting more belligerent by the second.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal after all.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown supports my story.
And so we get to Boo Boo
Well,
Pharmacy.
hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors?
Now,
This shall serve as decisive proof of our case.
from Boo Boo Pharmacy.
What's this?
Smiractus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smiractus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic change of personality and fall seriously ill. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smiractus jadeite?
I had no idea.
Even though you had asked to do
idea,
from
you
Boo Boo
say?
Pharmacy.
I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Duh.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of Smiractus jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand, why would you—
Because you already made the promise.
Huh? No, The hairpins aren't actually
Aren't actually inlaid with genuine Smiractus jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Ms. Zerchow 10 times the original price in Mora?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
So am I.
Yep, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
Again, that's legal consultancy for you.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smiractus Nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smiractus jadeite in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price.
Then he found out it was
After
dangerous.
receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I was in a constant state of agitation, too. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to waste? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smiractus Nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smiractus jadeite. I kept the real Smiractus jadeite in a
You
specially
shouldn't have
made
lied in the
box.
contract then.
I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Zhiqiao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
So why did you charge her an extorted rental piece?
Exactly. If they weren't the real deal,
I've never
why'd
seen
you
that
make
word
her pay
before.
so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smiractus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it.
Just give it to me.
If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora.
I feel like
that
she's
is
going to be
final.
kind-hearted.
10 times?
That's your contract.
Crosel looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smiractus jadeite.
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora.
See, I knew she'd be
Even if
kind-hearted.
the Smiractus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Jichao, you...
However, Mr. Crosel, since you have no use for that chunk of Smiractus jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What?
She's going to use it as payment
All right,
for the
then.
20%.
This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
And it's not
Miss
good
Yanfei,
grief.
I'll turn this
I'll show you.
Smiractus jadeite over to you.
I just have nothing else to do right
I
now.
trust that it will suffice as remuneration?
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever. It'll do.
It's something that we were looking for anyway.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yanfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chow, have you and Mr. Crosel come to an understanding?
Well, yes, I believe we have.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crosel, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so? That's good. That's good.
Actually, Mr. Crosel, I'd like to talk business for a second, if I may. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works
Look,
in the
she's
ore
even lifting
business,
them up
and
too
we have
instead
a
of just
fair
letting them
stock of
off.
fine ores. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think
She is
we
a
could do
nice
some
person.
fine business between us.
He's a greedy jerk, and she is a nice person.
Let me think for a moment.
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smiractus jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Yes, though there were some twists and turns along the way.
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a big stack of documents. Even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hairpins.
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem.
What if we
The
found the
objective
hairpins
of
anyway?
my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more efficient solution.
Can't say I've ever met an adeptus like you before.
An Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said.
What do you mean?
Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans.
Uh-huh.
The
And?
title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
Depends on the day.
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
I think there is more than just reason involved here, Paimon.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks for a while now.
What are those? What are tenterhooks? I've never heard of such a thing before. We got the Smiractus jadeite, which is fine in our hands, it looks like. I do need to get all these world quests at some point. There are a lot of them in the OA compared to Mondstadt. And there's some just out in the wilderness, too. As a matter of fact, there's one that I saw where it involves a ghost. I just didn't talk to the guy because I didn't want to trigger it yet. Hold on. I didn't come here for the fishes. I came here for the lotus head. Alright. Up the stairs we go. Gotta get to Madam Ping. We need to get our teapot today. Before I end this off. Madam Ping. Madam Ping! Ha!
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the Smiractus jadeite?
We were. Thanks to Yanfei.
Good, good. Then we have all the materials we need.
Well,
Cool.
if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right, then. Go see to your business. Granny should be able to handle the rest.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you.
You give me a business
I've
card?
been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts, too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot, hmm?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
I might need you in Inazuma.
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense back in the day when he stood beside Rex Lapis.
A truly unique Adeptus.
Indeed she is. Liyue has changed, and the Adepti must also learn to change.
Looks like she's accepted it fully.
Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city among us all. Liyue is not the same place I once knew.
Really?
All right, then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic. I believe that I still owe you a little gift.
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How is it made?
And how long does it take?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take long at all. Just wait here for a moment.
Ping begins to construct the gift. Better get our teapot.
Oh, there we go. This Serenity pot is all yours now.
Serenity.
Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, oh goodness, who knows what might happen.
All right.
Take
I'll
these
take a
blueprints
firm
with
hold of
you
it.
as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more lively inside.
Thanks, Granny.
Wait a minute, Granny. How exactly are we supposed to use this teapot?
Put it down and get sucked in.
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little helper to await you within this teapot. She will explain everything you need to know about it.
So the question is, do we go into it now or no? Max teapot known as the Serenity pot. Let me read it.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Are those blueprints? Open arrow workshop. Press P to open inventory. Switch to gadgets. Click to place the Serenity teapot. And enter. Let's see, floating abode, Emerald Peak, Cool Isle. We'll select this one. Do you wish to set the realm? Wait. Yeah, no, we're doing this one. Are we able to change it or add more to it later? Or are we stuck with the one from jump? So that's kind of disappointing. Especially since I can't do the other one.
This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's. There's even a great big house in the middle, too.
Who the heck be that?
But there's just a whole load of nothing around it.
Get chiseling, Paimon. You could carve us a whole house out of this rock. Go dig a burrow and live in there for now, I guess.
Paimon can't do that.
Paimon can't do
you're
anything.
the one with the sword anyway. You do it. Still, why is it so empty here apart from that house? Oh, wait a second. What is that?
That's who she was talking about. It says explore the area, but I think this is the only thing around.
Well, it seems that we have a visitor.
Hello.
It's a huge finch!
Okay.
Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot spirit, and you may call me... hang on a moment. What am I supposed to be called again?
Oh, do I get to decide?
Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me Tubby.
Oh, wow. I was just going to call you Finch. Certainly looked at. That's rude.
So you're the little helper Madam Ping mentioned?
Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did summon me here. She told me much about you. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me. Your
Looks like she
journey
needs
may
help in
be
her realm.
far from over. But at least this way, you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night.
So, what's a teapot spirit exactly?
Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of their maintenance.
Okay.
Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help guard their realms and manage their affairs. You may consider me a butler, if you will. Now, allow me to explain this realm to you.
Okay.
Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, blueprints with beautiful rooms, chairs, and the like.
I think we might have gotten
As long
some.
as you have a blueprint, you can refashion this realm however you please.
Ah, so we can change it.
Oh, that's right! Granny handed us some when she gave us the teapot, didn't she? Let's take them out and have a look.
Okay.
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking about. Go on.
This is my hand.
Open them up. Just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare the necessary materials. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint shall appear within this teapot.
Okay.
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
We could.
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me at some point in the past. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, even that has its limits. This world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief respite from the mortal realm, not a means of escaping it entirely.
A golden-eyed adeptus? Paimon wonders who could that be?
I hardly
Zhongli.
remember myself. What's more, I have never seen that adeptus again since.
How very strange.
Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around. Best you get accustomed to this realm. If there's anything you would like to ask, just look for me.
Look for Tubby in the Serene Teapot. After using and summoning the Serene Teapot, travelers can interact with it and enter the abode within. Travelers can also use and summon the pot while they're within its confines. Interacting with the Serene Teapot in this state will allow travelers to leave it. Travelers can also directly open the map interface and fast travel to any of the teleport waypoints to immediately leave the Serene Teapot. Talk to the Teapot spirit inside the Serene Teapot to learn about and manage all manner of teapot-related affairs. You can create all kinds of items from the creation screen. Materials used to create items can be gathered all over the world. After obtaining and furnishing, I use the place function to put it in position. Place furnishings to increase the Adepti energy rank of your Serene Teapot. As your Adeptal energy rank increases, realm currency will accumulate at a faster rate. Spend realm currency in the realm depot to purchase various items. Once in a while, a teapot traveling salesman will visit your abode. There is a chance that he will bring some rare treasures with him. If you acquire the blueprint for a furnishing set, you can place furnishings by batch. You can still make adjustments, don't yawn while I'm reading, to individual furnishings when batch placing them. New quest, ideal teapot, talk to Tubby. So I gotta talk to you again. Ah, you arrived quickly. Good. What's up? I asked you to come here so I could give you a little gift. I do not know if I told you before, but these abodes are private spaces created by the Adepti for themselves. Most Adepti will use certain methods to seal their abode away from the rest of the world to ensure its purity and avoid being disturbed. Afterward, Adepti can create a realm dispatch for those they wish to invite to their abode. This realm dispatch bears signatures of the abode's adeptal energy and that of the adeptus themselves. As such, anybody who can use this dispatch can enter or exit the abode freely. For this abode was an incomplete embryonic state. Those whom you invited into it would only have been able to exit and enter together with you rather than remain for long periods. But now, well, take this realm dispatch that I have created for you and hold it in your hand tightly now. What should I do next? Don't worry. You will need to hold this dispatch and it will draw some of your energy out and into it. Ah yes, I hear Ping mention that you have made friends in a great many places. No, I haven't. As such, I suspect that you were to distribute one dispatch to each one of them. You would be here making dispatches for a long time. As such, I had made some modifications to this dispatch. All you need to do is tap the palm of the person you'd like to invite lightly with the dispatch, and your energy signature will remain on them, allowing them to enter and leave your realm with ease. Huh? It's almost like marking, isn't it? Huh? Well, sort of. But why did you have to put it so weirdly? Well, here in the realm dispatch, here's the realm dispatch. Go forth and invite whoever you wish. It seems this place shall become lively quite soon. Cool. I guess that's that for all that. And I'm not going to deal with this right now, so I'm actually just going to end things off here. So that's it for this one. Hold on, I didn't get... I don't think I got enough Primogems to do a wish before I end this off. Yeah, I think this is the only 5 I got this whole time. So I had to wait till next time before I could possibly do it. Yeah, I need to get another 50. All right, well, that'll be it for this one. Hold on, there isn't more in the quest, is there? Nope. So yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, deuces.
So I wrote it in the rhyme. The Reverend Doctor got an 8K, wet working. The roaches get the rays sprayed. My weak rhyme, my body, your best verses on game day. I touch the crowns of self-entitled kings. You leave the heat like LeBron when I melt your idols' vital things. This is Malcolm and Martin, Million Man March in Sparta, mixed with a legion of angels surrounding sons and daughters. Simon Peter with a desert eagle, waving it at Caesar. So if I was you, I probably wouldn't mention me either.